it's still life-threatening. You actually don't know if it's life-threatening until it happens. Okay? So yes, again, you are, in effect, forcing a victim to undergo a life-threatening condition. You are out of your mind.
Hello?
Costa, you are being invited to speak. How are you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, good. What did you want to talk about?
Well, I heard that you're pro-abortion.
Yes,
I am
very pro-abortion.
very anti-abortion.
Ooh, let's
so
hear
I
it.
just
Okay.
kind of I want to know your stance first.
One thing that I like to think about is exactly what we're talking about is not, for example, at what point should we apply moral consideration to the fetus? Hold on a second.
So like you mean like what do you mean moral, like if it's like when it's a
when it's viable.
human or
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't necessarily want to talk about that because I don't think that it's actually relevant to the abortion discussion, because what we're talking about is not whether or not, like, you know, this fetus should or should not live. We're talking about whether or not a politician anywhere between 100 to 1,000 miles away can decide whether or not that a person has to undergo a life-threatening possibility, right? A life-threatening event in their life, right?
Okay, so you said that it like doesn't matter like how far along they are in the womb? Is that
No,
is that
no,
what
I'm
you
saying
said?
it's not relevant, right? That portion is not relevant because the main argument that the Republican makes and pro-lifers make is that a politician or a Supreme Court representative 100 to 1,000 miles away has a right to tell the mother whether or not that they must go through a life-altering decision and potentially harm themselves, right? They could actually die. It's a life-threatening situation. All pregnancies, every single one of them, are potentially life-threatening.
It is life threatening, but it rarely happens. I mean, that's
That's beside the point.
rare.
It is. Here's the problem, right? Regarding this life-threatening argument, is that you don't actually know it's life-threatening until it's happening, right? And so, to me, I think of, okay, well, if it is potentially life-threatening, or it could be in the future, that ought be up to the person who's going to undergo that risk, right? That's not different for anything, right? What we do is that when there is an amount of risk to anything, we understand that the person understands that risk, and then they're able to address that risk by their own choice.
Yes, but the time was to decide that was when you're conceiving the child. It shouldn't be, okay, now I went through this, I had my fun, now I'm going to say, okay, I'm just going to kill this baby because I don't want to have it.
Wait, is your... Hold on a sec. Are you arguing in favor of retribution of the child? You want to use the child as retribution to the mother?
What do you mean retribution?
Consequence. Right? What you just said, right? What you just implied is that, well, they had sex, therefore they have to deal with the consequence of having the child, right? You are using children as consequence.
No, children is not a consequence. I'm saying that
then why did you word it that way?
I didn't mean to word it as if a child was a consequence.
Cool. So we're not using the child as retribution. Good. So then we go back to the same question. Why should a politician 100 to 1,000 miles away make the decision on behalf of the person who undergoes the life-threatening condition?
But that's not. I'm saying that the woman who is the woman is making the decision.
Wait, but no, that's not necessarily the case, right? Because what you are making the argument is that it's the politician that has to make it. I'm making the argument it ought be up to the woman's choice.
Yes, it is up to the woman's choice. It is
okay. So you're pro-choice.
If they would just never conceive a child, then it wouldn't be an issue.
Okay, so then you're saying that there's something wrong with them having sex And then because they had sex, they ought receive retribution via the child.
No, I'm saying if you're having sex, you should be ready to have a child. Because
do you understand that you can have sex and reasonably not have a child?
Yeah, you can, but it
okay.
happens
So
a lot,
do you think you could I don't know, wear a condom? You think you could take morning after pills? Do you think that well, it's pretty high probability, right? It's like 99.99 whatever, right? It's a very high probability, right? Something as cheap as condoms. Okay, condoms break, right? Stuff happens, life gets in the way. Sometimes you get sexually assaulted, right? Those are rare conditions, but that happens, right? Again, that comes down to a decision that needs to be made at the level of the mother, right? But that's not your argument. Your argument is that it ought be up to a politician 100 to 1,000 miles away. I need you to explain to me why.
So are you saying that it should be the woman's choice to kill the baby that they're having?
Yes, because they're the ones that have to undergo, and by the way, I wouldn't call it a baby. I would call it a fetus more accurately.
A fetus
and then
is
the
a
second
baby.
thing, no, that's not. There's a level of viability concern, right? A baby is viable on its own. A fetus isn't necessarily viable on its own. It's also a fetus can literally be a clump of cells where it's not really a baby. But that's beside the point. This is why I don't want to get into the argument regarding at what point do we care about the child, right? Because I don't think we're at that level, right? The question is whether or not that a politician should make the decision, or should the mother make the decision. To me, it's obvious. The mother obviously needs to make the decision.
But you said that a fetus isn't a baby. The Latin root of fetus is
I'm not arguing this.
Human.
I'm not arguing this. I need you to justify why a politician 100 to 1,000 miles away has the right to make the decision. Do not talk about the viability of the child. Do not talk about the child or any of that. That's irrelevant to the discussion.
You just said that it was a child. So why would you be allowed
to kill it? It is irrelevant to the discussion. That is irrelevant to the discussion.
Irrelevant.
No, because the argument is, here's the thing, right? I understand that you yourself think that. Great, amazing, right? I'm sure if you ever get a woman pregnant, right, and then they agree with you and they accept, that's a pro-choice argument, right? You're not making the argument from a personal level. You're making the argument that a politician 100 to 1,000 miles away should take away the rights of women and then force them to undergo this procedure. Right? They cannot have this medical procedure because they have to get it. Right? And I need to know why. What is the underlying concern? Why should the politician be the decision maker and not the mother?
But the politician, unless it's rape, the politician is not the deciding factor. The woman,
the politician is the deciding factor, right? Because like a woman conceiving the baby, I got news for you, man. Most women don't go out of their way to get an abortion, right? A lot of the times what they do is they just have the baby. That's kind of what they do. Okay. But here's the thing, right? That's a case by case scenario. So I'm going to ask you this, right? You have a 15-year-old. 15-year-olds are stupid. They're really stupid. Okay. They don't understand anything. Okay. Their prefrontal cortex is not developed enough to be able to understand consequences for their actions. Okay. And you, right? The girl who's 15 decides to have sex. Why? Because they're horny teenagers. Horny teenagers do this. Okay. It's not uncommon. And then they end up pregnant. Right? Mm-hmm. Should they be forced to have a child? Based on a politician?
Yes, they should have the child.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
You're out of your freaking mind. You're out of your mind.
You're out of your mind. They chose to have sex to the conceive the child.
No. Hold on. What does it mean to choose? Do you think that? Hold on. Let me ask you this. If I drug you that impairs your judgment and I make you sign a contract to give me $100,000, do you think that contract is valid?
No, because you drugged me.
Yeah, because it's under duress, right? Uh-huh. I'm putting you under duress.
But does that contract have
hold on. This is great, right? I believe that children are not consenting adults. And the reason why I believe that they're not consenting adults is because they don't understand the consequences of their actions. What they are doing is that they are effectively entering into contract under duress. So I'm asking you, right? They don't understand the consequences of their actions, but you're saying that they should experience the consequences even though that they are effectively entering into a contract under duress.
Yeah, just like if say I'm the 15-year-old, I have a bedtime and I can't use my phone past that bedtime. Okay, I say okay, I'm not going to use it. But then what happens when I use my phone past that bedtime? I have a consequence that I don't have my phone anymore.
How old are you?
Just like if I'm 19.
Okay. All right. I don't think you understand my argument. Okay, you said that the contract, right? The $100,000 contract. What do you think is more consequential, right? A baby or a $100,000 loan?
A baby's going to cost more.
Oh, hell yeah. A lot more than 100,000 for sure. Right. And so here's the thing, right? You don't agree that I should be able to enter a person into a $100,000 loan, but you think that a person should be forced to enter in through a contract, even though that they are not a reasoning, consenting individual.
Those are just disproportionate. I mean,
no.
Okay.
You're right. It is disproportionate against your favor because you just admitted that the child is actually cost more than 100,000.
But when you go back to it, what you said doesn't matter. That it doesn't matter if it's a human or not. It does matter because you can't kill a human. I would be fine with it if it wasn't a human, but it is, so you can't just kill it.
Again,
that is
we're not
really
discussing
important.
that. I'm stuck on, right?
But how are we gonna have this conversation if we don't know
because you're talking about it at an individual level. And in which case we can discuss our own individual ideas as to like what we consider to be like of moral consideration, right? But that's not the question, right? Because a pro-choice argument allows you to make a pro-life decision, right? Like you personally don't have to get an abortion. I'm sorry, your significant other does not have to get an abortion just because abortions are allowed. You can decide that I don't want to get an abortion and I will take care of the child. Great. That's awesome on you, right? Your argument isn't that. Your argument is a politician 100 to 1,000 miles away should be able to force women to undergo a potentially life-threatening condition. Okay. And so I'm asking you, why?
Because I'm saying that the politician is not the deciding factor. It's the woman that has the baby, and unless it's a small.
That's a personal argument.
But how can we not have that argument? That is an important.
You're the one that is making the anti-abortion argument. You're literally saying that other people must be compelled by law, by force, to be forced to have a baby. Right? Including at the level of a 15-year-old who is not a consenting adult. Okay. And so I'm asking you very simply, right? Why should a politician 100 to 1,000 miles away be the deciding factor and not the mother?
Because a politician should be able to tell you that you can't kill a baby.
Okay, bro. I don't consider it to be a baby, but that's beside the point.
Exactly. I think the person. We need to have.
Well, no, but here's the thing, right? What you just tacitly told me, right? At least the way that translates in my head is that the politician should tell the mother, a person, that they must undergo a potentially life-threatening condition to term. Right?
Yes,
they must undergo that under penalty of law. And I think that is beyond amoral. That is beyond immoral.
You should be able to have that because if you don't, you're ending another's life.
Okay, well, again, you're saying under the basis of this politician, and again, you're attributing that the child's life is worth more than the mother. I got news for you. The mother's paying taxes. That child didn't do shit.
So just because the baby isn't born yet, that means they matter less?
Yes. Literally, that's exactly how that works. Yes.
They matter. So a
Yes, they matter
1-year-old
less.
matters less than a 20-year-old.
Yes, because if you abort the fetus, right, the 20-year-old can try again. The fetus has to wait 15 plus years, okay, to be able to do anything.
fetus is
Okay, the
dead.
fetus is
fetus can't
basically
try
useless. Right? No, I'm saying at the moment, the fetus is useless. This is the difference between whether, like, let me ask you this, right? If you stepped on a seed, right, is that the same thing as chopping down a 200-year-old tree?
No, it could be a 200.
No, it's not, right? Because obviously one of them went through like a lot, and then the other one and like can make billions and billions of seeds, and the other one is just, I don't know, a seed, right? We're talking about a fetus, not a mother. A mother can have more fetuses, right? But a fetus can't make more babies unless, one, they're a female, and then number two, that they have grown a significant amount of time and then required a ridiculous amount of energy. So yeah, I kind of do value the mother a lot more than the fetus. And by the way, just so you know, the mother can live without the fetus can't live without the mother. So yeah, the mother inherently is worth more.
A person on life support, they can't live without help. That means they matter less.
We're not even talking about that because, again, you're still making the argument that
we
a politician 100 to 1,000 miles away has the right to tell people that they must undergo this potentially life-threatening condition. That is insane to me.
Go back to what you just said. You just said that a person matters less if they can't if a person on life support, they matter less than an average person.
I'm saying that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant, right? Because again, I'm stuck on because my argument is the problem with the politician, right? That's the problem, right? See, here's the thing, right? You can make your argument all day long regarding what matters, what doesn't matter. That's tacitly a pro-choice argument because you're saying, me, myself, I believe this. Great, amazing. I'm glad you like that, right? There's nothing wrong with that, right? That's your personal decision, but that's not your argument. Your argument is that you should force women. No. Here's the thing: you don't believe in the right to live, right? Because you didn't give a crap about the mother, right? Because I got news for you: every single pregnancy, every single pregnancy is potentially life-threatening. Every single pregnancy, okay. Every single pregnancy. Let me ask you this. Did you let's say, right, you get into a job and you get into, I don't know, window cleaning skyscrapers. Okay. Mm-hmm. The guy who's window cleaning a skyscraper falls to his death. Do you go, well, he chose that job, so it's his fault?
That is, you need to have money to. You just made the point that I don't even know what.
You don't understand this train of logic.
Totally disproportional.
Well, but here's the thing, right? I still need to hear the argument as to why a politician 100 to 1,000 miles away can force women to undergo a life-threatening condition, right? I need to really drive home this fact. The fact is that all pregnancies are potentially life-threatening. Every single one of them. None of them are perfectly clean, perfectly healthy. There's always complications, right? And all sorts of things can happen that can go from perfectly healthy to super life-threatening within days, within minutes.
Yes,
that could be the case.
That when you're conceiving the child.
No, but here's the thing, right? That should be up to the mother to make that decision, not a politician 100 miles away. No. I'm sorry.
Wait. Okay, can I make a point? You just said it's up to the mother. It's up to the mother when they're conceiving the child. They can say, no, I don't want to do this. I'm not going to have sex because I don't want to have a child. If you don't want to have the child, you shouldn't have sex.
You already agreed that you don't believe in in retribution on basis of forcing them to have a child because they decided to have sex.
But
right?
You totally
same reason why you think it's ridiculous to blame window cleaners for picking that job, and that's why they died. Right? We have checks and balances to prevent the problem from occurring. But then again, that's a pro-choice argument, isn't it?
You totally just ignored my point.
I want to hear the argument why politician 100 to 1,000 miles away should be able to.
I'm saying that it's not it's not. It doesn't even come close to the politician, because if you
Really?
have the choice to conceive a child, if you don't want to,
What's pro-life mean?
You should
explain pro-life to me. How's that work?
Pro-life is I'm pro-life. I don't want
Really?
lives being
What about the
lost.
mother? What about the life of the mother?
You made that choice when you had sex. You said, okay.
Okay, so
I know
you're using the
that
retribution of the child. I'm still stuck on that.
But you use the
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I literally have said it should be up to the mother to make that decision for themselves. That is not using the child as retribution. That's me saying, in case you fucked up, hey, you can actually fix your life by getting an abortion. Right? That's literally me removing their consequence.
That's pretty messed up. Fixing your life to destroy another life?
What? No, because here's the thing,
Destroying
right?
another
The
life
mother
just to
can
fix
try
yours?
again. I don't think that baby is going to be doing a very good job if they're born and their mother is freaking 15. They're not even. They're a child themselves.
what?
They don't know how to
Did you know
take care of
there's more-
kids.
did
You
you
know
know
what
there's
would
more
help
people
if they
signed up
went
for
to
adoption than
college,
abortion?
and then when they went to college, they have a nice degree, and now that they have a nice degree and they have a nice job where they got a nice salary, now they could choose to have a child. But that's a pro-choice
You know, there's-
argument, isn't it?
Do you know there's more people signed up to have adoption than there is abortion?
Okay.
So
and?
if everybody wouldn't have an abortion, and they have the baby and put the baby up for adoption,
That's still life-threatening to the mother. That needs to be up to the decision of the mother.
Percentile.
No, it's not a tiny percentile. That's the problem.
Guess what?
Every single pregnancy
is. Are you saying that- are you
potentially
saying that is a
life-threatening.
large-
Every single one of them. You actually are
Potentially, but
not
not
aware
every single-
that it is life-threatening until it's life-threatening. So yes, again, that needs to be a decision that is made on behalf of the mother. Let me ask you this. You need to get from point A to point B, go to work, right? And you get into, I don't know, somebody shows up to your doorstep to take you from point A to point B. He says he's going to take you every single day, and he sends you in a total death machine, right? You look at this car, right? And it's bad. I mean, it's rickety. It doesn't have any seat belts. I mean, the tail lights are out. You're just like, if I hop in this thing, I'm dead, right? Do you think like a politician should force you to get in that car, or do you think you should have the choice?
What does that have to do anything with abortion?
Well, no, it doesn't. It's an analogy. Right, so I'm asking.
So why
you,
would you even make that analogy if it doesn't have
I'm
to
making
have
the
anything to do?
analogy because I'm the one making the argument that it should be up to the person that wants to initiate the risk, right? And you're making the argument
Yes.
that they
And
should
no.
they should be forced to initiate the risk. So yeah,
No,
should
and
you
guess
get
what?
into the
Just
rickety
like-
car?
Just like
Should you
just
get
like
into the
when
rickety
they're,
car?
They're deciding to get
Should
into
you have
the
a
rickety
choice?
car. They're deciding.
Should
to
you have a
sex.
choice
No,
to get
I
into the
shouldn't have
rickety
sex.
car?
I don't want to have a baby. No, I shouldn't get into that car because it looks rickety. I'm saying that you're
right, cool.
exactly making my point now.
So then you should.
That
So
you
then you should have the choice as to whether or not that you want to undergo a potentially life-threatening condition.
You choose that when you choose to have sex.
Not necessarily. Sometimes you decide to wear a condom and condom break. Sometimes you wear the morning.
don't-
You drink.
yes.
You're
Guess
taking the
what?
morning after pill, and
No,
you
no,
miss
wait.
a pill. It
Wait, can I make a
happens,
point, please?
right?
Can I
Life
make a point?
happens.
You just said that there is always a chance that something might go wrong. So guess what? If you never have sex, then you don't even go through those chances. Those chances are irrelevant. So guess what? If you don't
Except
have
for rape,
sex,
right?
then except for rape, yes.
Okay, so should a person be forced to have a child if they were raped?
No, because another person's wrongdoing shouldn't.
So
two
why
wrongs
is it
don't make a
different
right.
if it's potentially life-threatening? All pregnancies are potentially
Because-
life-threatening. You're forcing politicians to write a bill that then forces every single person, every single female, that they are forced to have a child. Why?
Because you choose to have sex, unless it's rape.
You're
you choose
using.
to have sex.
We're still stuck on the child retribution thing. It's gross.
Are you saying you don't choose to have sex?
What? No, you do choose to have sex. I just don't want to use
Exactly.
a baby as
Wait, no.
retribution. That's
you
weird.
You just said you choose to have sex. So then, if you choose, you know that okay, this could lead to me having a baby. So if you never have sex in the first place, you don't have to worry about having a baby.
Yeah, except when they're raped. But even so,
Except-
it's still
exactly.
even if you didn't choose that to be potentially life-threatening, right? And because every
you
single
did. You said-
pregnancy
okay.
is potentially life-threatening, really
Exactly.
we need
No,
to consider
okay.
we need to consider whether or not that a politician 100 to 1,000 miles away should have that decision. Right,
You
and
just
I
said that
disagree. I think
every
that should be up to
pregnancy-
every individual in their own individual needs. Right, you're literally arguing that 15-year-olds have to carry babies to term. That's freaking gross, dude.
Yes, because 15-year-olds can't kill a baby.
Yeah,
you
and
can't
15-year-olds
murder just 'cause
can't
they're 15.
consent.
Yeah, if it's a 15-year-old that has
You
sex with another
literally said that
15-year-old,
15-year-olds can
legal.
have babies. You said is that they are forced. They ought be forced to have a child on the
I'm saying
merit
they are
of a
forced
politician
to-
100 to
they're
1,000
forced
miles
to-
away. But
they're forced to not kill another baby.
But a 15-year-old is not a consenting adult, right?
No, they are not. They're 15.
Okay, yeah. So then it's fair to say that they don't actually understand the consequences of their actions, entering into a contract under duress.
Just because they don't
So
understand.
why are you okay with 15-year-olds having babies?
Because you can't kill someone.
What again? Okay, all right. I mean, if you want, we can go ahead and go over that. But we're stuck on a politician currently has a right
Yes, let's
to
go over that.
arbitrarily tell that. Sure. So we'll go over the 20. Okay. So the way that I determine this, at what point it matters, is that I consider the what it means that I care about humans. And there's a couple of thought experiments that I like to think of when I think about, like, at what point do I care about humans and I stop caring about humans. One experiment is if you can just think about if I took your brain and I managed to magically transplant it into a robot, right? And let's say like the robot can speak and move and all that stuff. What do I care about? Do I care about the dead husk that's on the floor, or do I care about the brain robot? I think you would come to the same conclusion, is that you would probably care about the brain robot, right? Because that's the thing that's, effectively is establishing a human experience, right? A human consciousness.
You shouldn't be dismembering a person to put it in a robot.
Freaking God. It's just a thought experiment, right?
Okay,
I'm saying if I did, right, which one would I care about, right? And it's the robot. Okay. And so if it is the robot, then there's something about that robot that makes me go, I care about that versus the other thing. And the thing that I could think about is that it's the conscious experience, right? Being able to, as a human, be consciously aware and react to stuff. And so this is also true regarding like people who, let's say, become a vegetable. If they become a vegetable, they are no longer effectively consciously experiencing, right? And it's situations like that, if they're like on life support, that it's perfectly appropriate to pull the plug, right? Because at that point, they're not really consciously experiencing, and so we stop caring. And then, so finally, I look at like in terms of the fetus, and the fetus, in terms of the brainstem connection, it doesn't really actually happen till roughly about 20 weeks or so. And so basically anywhere between 1 to 20 weeks, literally Yeetus the fetus, have fun. Like it's literally doesn't matter. What? After 25 weeks, it becomes, abortions are actually not even abortions at that point. The abortion at 25 weeks just becomes, inducing birth, right? It's a cesarean section or it's a birth, right? They don't generally do late term abortions unless if there's something like really seriously life threatening to the mother. I don't have a hard cutoff point at 20, but obviously, like in the instances of the life threatening of the mother, I'm perfectly okay with past 20. What I'm saying is at 20, a fetus is under moral consideration, right? That they ought be considered but before that, I don't care. Yeetus the fetus. I don't care.
Before that, they should be considered.
No, not at all. No.
They should. Why not?
Because they are not capable of conscious experience. They do not have that. literally just
people on life support.
I literally go. What?
Sir, say what you're saying.
When I said conscious experience, I do not mean raw consciousness. Okay, I'm saying that you are experiencing the surroundings. Okay, if somebody is unconscious, they have the potential, the future potential of their conscious experience as they did before. Okay, so somebody that we care about, let's say, for example, if a person is not possible to consciously experience in the future, then we stop caring. And it's the same thing with if they do not have the conscious experience before, we stop caring. So I have the up for moral consideration after 20 weeks, but before that, yeetus the fetus, there shouldn't be any restrictions whatsoever.
Just like if I'm knocked out, I'm not consciously experiencing anything. Doesn't mean
no,
you
you're
should be able to kill
unconscious,
me.
but you could absolutely be
Exactly, I'm
consciously
unconscious.
experiencing, right? You could be.
How? If I'm
Well, and
unconscious,
you could also
how
be
can I be
consciously
conscious?
experiencing in the future, right? Because unless if you're a vegetable,
Yes.
you're not up
no,
for
no,
grabs.
wait, exactly. You can be consciously experiencing in the future, just like how the baby
as
can,
well as
but
before.
not when
That's
you
the
decide to
difference.
kill it.
That's the difference. You were consciously experiencing before as you would in the future, but that's not the case for the fetus.
So if I have short-term memory and everything that happens before, and then I get knocked out, I don't remember what happens before, so I should be able to be killed.
What?
You're saying that if you haven't previously consciously like experienced something, then you shouldn't matter. You should be able to
Yeah, you don't
to kill
exist.
him.
You literally don't exist.
So if I get knocked out, a lot of things happen. If people get concussions, a lot of people don't remember the stuff that happened before. That
No, you
they don't
consciously
matter.
experienced before. What do you mean?
But
You were
you have no
consciously
recollection of that.
Hold on. Were you? That doesn't matter. Were you playing baseball prior to getting the concussion? Yeah. Okay. Now that you have a concussion and you're like unconscious or whatever, okay, you were consciously experiencing before, and we do an MRI scan. We see you're going to consciously experience in the future. Yeah, you're definitely up for moral consideration. Otherwise, yeetus the fetus, bro.
But you're killing a baby just because they don't have consciousness.
You asked for specifically. And secondly, it's not a baby, it's a fetus, right? And I understand that you want to bring up the Latin term, right? I'm referring to a completely unborn, developing human, which we call a fetus.
A human that is a 1-year-old is still developing, a 15-year-old is still developing.
Yeah, that's correct.
Their brain
Sure.
isn't fully developed, so you should be able to kill them just because they're not
When did
developed?
I say that?
You just said that yes, a 15-year-old isn't developed, just like a fetus.
A 1-year-old
is
is
not
consciously
developed.
experiencing. And so is a 5-year-old, so are all of these people who are also developing. They're also consciously
a
experiencing.
fetus in
So
the
I go
womb
back
is
to the same
consciously
problem. They're consciously... No, they're not. No. Their spinal cord isn't even connected to their brain until 20 weeks, which means they are not consciously experiencing garbage, right? They're developing. There's no conscious experience whatever.
So you think that after 20 weeks, abortion should be illegal?
No. I think that it should be up for moral consideration to the fetus, right? I'm perfectly okay with certain restrictions regarding abortions past 20 weeks, and then at the 25 mark, the fetus is now viable. They can now you can actually get them out of the womb, and it would just be an induced abortion at then.
Okay, so if I said no abortions after 20 weeks, you'd be fine with that?
No, because there's it just means there's moral consideration, right? There's no
So
hard
what would
line.
you say after 20 weeks? What should be allowed? What shouldn't be allowed?
I wouldn't be against a law that says you can't just abort at 20 weeks, but unless if like the mother's life is at stake in like cases of rape or incest. Sure, I wouldn't be against that, right? And that should be applied at a federal level.
Well, no, I don't think that you should be able to have an abortion just because you got raped.
You literally argued the exact opposite of that.
When? If you don't
Except
have
for rape,
sex,
right?
then except for rape, yes. What
Earlier
I
in this discussion.
I said that you should not be able to kill a baby even if
Even if you're
woman got
raped?
Even if you're raped.
You're out of your freaking mind, dude. You're out of
How?
your mind.
So would I if two wrongs
That's just
don't make
gross.
a right? Would you agree? Two wrongs don't make a right. Would you agree?
You're out of your mind. I'm not even addressing that. I don't want to address it. I really don't. It's gross.
No, you have to address this. This matters a lot if you were talking about rape.
What? The mother has to risk their life because they got raped?
Yes, because you are having a baby.
You're a psycho.
Baby.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
You're a psycho.
For saying that you can't murder a baby?
What? This is ridiculous. I'm pointing out, right, that the mother has to risk their life to as a victim.
But most times they do not have to risk their life.
No, that's not the case. That is the case for every
exactly the case.
single pregnancy. The only reason why the mortality rate is so low is because we have hospitals, right? But that costs thousands of dollars, but even then, it's still life-threatening. You actually don't know if it's life-threatening until it happens. Okay, so yes, again, you are in effect forcing a victim to undergo a life-threatening condition. You are out of your mind. Right? Okay, I just want to be clear, right?
Gift.
Are you oh my God. Are you religious? Are you religious? Are you
Yes,
Christian?
I am religious.
I swear to God.
Yes.
All right, get off. I'm done. Done. Dude, what am I going to do? Hold on. Do you think the Bible is anti-abortion?
Obviously, you
Is
can't
the Bible
kill
anti-abortion?
in the Bible. I don't know. I haven't researched it, but I know it
Whoa.
does.
You probably should read it because I read it. I read that.
Thou shalt
And
not murder.
Wow, good one. Wow, you read, what was that, the fifth commandment? You want to keep reading there, buddy?
What does it say? Please inform me.
There's a portion in the Bible that says that if you find that your wife might be cheating on you, but you have no evidence, that you can take her to the tabernacle. And just so you know, the tabernacle is where they would do all the sacrifices in the desert, right? So just imagine a bloody a tent that the inside of it is has bloody sand, right? And they have to take the tabernacle sand and put it in the water, and they're to mix it up, and the woman is to drink it. And if the baby falls away, then she was an adulterer, and so therefore, right, was a curse. Right, so that's in Numbers 5:11-31. You can read it yourself. It specifically says it is an induced abortion under the basis of God under the Old Testament. There's the Noah's Ark story that specifically does kill all humans on Earth, which would include everybody, including fetuses and babies. There's also the fact of the Midianites, where the Jews attacked the Midianites, and God had told them, kill the men, the women, the children, and the nursing babies. There is also there's a psalm that specifically says to take happy is the one that takes the invader's children and dashes them against the rocks. I don't remember the exact psalm, but I could give it to you. There is a psalm for that. Now, the Bible, and then there's, of course, in the Old Testament regarding the firstborn son, the death of the firstborn son, unless if they put the red around the door. All of those are instances of baby killing. God loves a good baby killing, right? Don't sit there and get fooled by these people that think that they know the Bible when they do not know the Bible. It absolutely is in favor of baby killing. There's lots of verses in the Bible that are perfectly okay with it. So don't sit there and argue that you're the avatar of morality when you're literally saying that somebody has to carry a child to term when they've been raped.
These are stories. This is not what God. These are
by the way,
stories.
Costa, you should actually read your Bible like a bit better, because God literally killed like millions of babies in the flood. Okay, so not really the best book when it comes to not killing babies. Just saying.
No, I agree. I should read my Bible more. That's something I
yeah, you should. I mean, if you're a Christian and if you're basing
it,
like
right?
your morality,
I want you,
on that,
right,
you should
to
read it.
do your homework, right? And don't just read specific chapters. No. Read the whole thing from front to back, first page to last page. Takes about it took me about maybe 3 or 4 months, and I got done with it. And I recommend every Christian just read the entire thing, right? Because there's a lot of parts that people like to ignore, and it's really crazy that what you're going to
A lot of things you said in the Old Testament, and most of the stuff you said, it was stories. It wasn't God saying stuff. Just stories, things happen that God doesn't agree with, and a lot of this was a lot of stuff that like
Like
was
the flood.
laws
Did
in the Old
God
Testament.
not agree with the flood? Was the flood
sent the
happening?
flood.
I've already
so he did agree with
given
it.
multiple
Okay.
instances. There's nothing in the Bible aside from the commandment, right? Which, by the way, is Old Testament. Okay. Other than thou shalt not kill, does it imply that it is not okay to kill babies? Right? There's lots of instances where they're perfectly okay with killing babies. Okay, so get that out of your head.
It is not okay to kill anything, if it's a baby, if it's an adult, whatever it is.
So why
If
is
it a
God doing
human,
it
you
so
shall not
often?
kill it.
Why is God so proficient at killing?
Well, a lot of stuff was to send signs, and a lot of this stuff was stories,
Like
not
what?
something that
Okay,
God
do you
did.
remember? You probably don't know it because you already said you didn't read the Bible. So there's a passage in the Bible when one of God's prophets is like, there's some children. Again, it's like this thing with kids that were making fun of him for being bald. Do you know what God did? He sent a she-bear, like it's specifically a she-bear.
Oh man, that one's fun.
I don't know why it's a
That
she-bear.
one's fun.
To just
The bear
kill
one.
them all, right? Because like kids
So
making fun
weird.
of bald people, yeah, they kind of deserve a good mauling, right, from a bear.
Because they called no,
Right?
they
So it's like-
they were laughing at him because he called them bald, and then God was like, "All right, I'll send a bear and maul all these kids," and it was like, "Oh, praise be to God that like all these kids are mauled from bear because they mocked an old man."
So it's like I can understand if you're like anti-abortion. It's like everybody is free to kind of like think about these things, but it's like if you're going to base this type of morality on something like the Bible or your faith, Christianity, you should actually know it like a bit better before you're basing things on it, because you might find some contradictions in there, right?
I agree. I should read it more, but this also comes to legality. You can't legally kill someone.
I
So
agree.
what do you mean
but
by killing
I got
someone?
news for you, man. I mean, like I've already explained to you the conscious experience thing, and I've explained to you why. Right? It's philosophically consistent. It upholds in the sense that it is the conscious experience before as it is after, and I'm able to understand that I don't believe that a politician 100 to 1,000 miles away should force someone to undergo a life-threatening
It's not.
condition.
But every time I say that it is not the politician's choice, it's the
It
choice
is.
of the woman who's
no,
having
but
sex.
no, that's wrong.
No, it's not.
That's wrong because you sat there and you just argued that a woman who's been raped should be forced to have the child. So no, it specifically is up to the politician in your eyes. You want the
you're saying that
politician to
everybody
be
is
the
being raped.
arbitrator
You're saying
and not
everyone
the
is being
woman,
raped.
which is completely insane.
The
That is
exception
completely
should not be the rule.
insane.
The exception should not be the rule. There's unfortunately
You need
people
to be
do
able
get
to. The
raped.
rule should be able to address exceptions. Guess what? My rule is able to address exceptions. Do you know why? Because it's pro-choice. Every
you should
individual.
not
So like if you're a
acceptably-
hardcore Christian and you meet another hardcore Christian and you guys believe that abortion is bad, go do that. There's nothing wrong with you doing that. But don't sit there and then push your morality, which your Bible doesn't even argue. Right? Do not sit there and
It doesn't
judge
even go
onto
into the Bible.
others.
It goes into law. It's
Oh, okay.
you
So if the law
legally-
changed, hold on, wait. So if the law changed, you'd be okay with it?
No, I would not be okay with.
Okay,
the
all
law
right. So it
changing
has
for
nothing to
somebody
do with the
killing.
law. So we're stuck on this basic problem, right? So we're back to the fact that I don't believe a politician 100 to 1,000 miles away should force a woman to undergo a procedure that is life-threatening. Right? I'm sorry.
every
That's
time-
the hard
every time
stop,
that I
right? And
bring
you
up-
keep bringing
every
up the
time
sex
that I
thing.
bring up-
You keep bringing up the sex thing, and the problem with the sex thing is that is a retribution on behalf of the baby, right? That is disgusting, right? But then again, you were arguing in favor of rape babies, so whatever. Like it's already gross.
You keep saying that that's the whole sex thing doesn't matter. It matters a lot because in order to have a baby, you need to have sex.
Except you don't even abide by that because you're okay with rape babies.
Rape is sex still. Unfortunately, people
but you
get
didn't
raped,
choose. You didn't choose. So the idea of choice doesn't matter to you. Holy crap! What is happening? I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind.
A horrible person that decides to go out and do that to a woman. It's a horrible thing, and I don't know why you would even think of doing that. You should still not be able to kill a baby. It doesn't matter. No matter what happens, you cannot murder.
Okay.
Can we agree on that?
The law doesn't say that, by the way, just FYI, right? In certain states, the law doesn't say that, right? And so,
what does it say?
The law doesn't argue. Well, it's a state-by-state issue, but I don't even agree with that. I don't believe that a politician 100 to 1,000 miles away should be forced to undergo a life-threatening condition. Absolutely not. I think you are out of your mind making that argument.
You keep bringing up the politician.
Yeah, because that's the main argument. That's the problem.
Let's go to the root. The root is No. Stop. You can apply whatever morality you want. That's up to you. That's your personal choice. Okay? It's not morality.
That's the difference, right? You're arbitrating morality, this specific morality, onto everybody else. So that means the politician 100 to 1,000 miles away should be the deciding factor. Okay, so yes, that is where your argument is, right? I know you want to run away from that because it looks gross, and it is gross. Trust me, it is gross. I think everybody can sit here and see this, right? I think even like people who are pro-life would look at this and may reconsider their position just because they know implicitly that this means that the politician 100 to 1,000 miles away have to be the deciding.
Are you saying that you don't have to have sex to have a baby?
Bro, dude, that's exactly what I'm saying. I get women pregnant through magical farts.
You do not have to have sex to have a baby.
You can do in vitro fertilization, which doesn't require sex.
It requires a man's semen.
You didn't say a man's semen. You said sex.
That is practical. Okay, if you had no men, would there be babies?
Let me say, for example, right?
Also, you're a Christian. There was at least one case without sex in your.
Let's say, for example, that I got the man spunk, right? And I put it in a turkey baster, right? And while a girl was asleep, I inseminated her. Should she be forced to have a child?
That's a rape.
Yeah, should she be forced to have a child? No sex was involved there. I just inseminated them.
Wait, what do you mean you inseminated?
I took a turkey baster, I put it up there, and I inseminated her.
A turkey baster and what? What does a turkey baster have to do? Huh?
Do I don't have to spell that out for you.
What are you talking about?
I put guy spunk in a turkey baster and I inseminated a woman. Okay? While they were unconscious, should they be forced to have a baby?
You injected your semen into another lady.
Yeah. Should they be able to have an abortion?
No, they should not be able to.
You're freaking psycho, dude. Get out of here. You're done. I'll give you the last word and that's it. We're done. You're out of your mind.
I guess I just don't really understand what, like, I know you said the word done. I have the last word. I'm saying that even in case of rape, just because somebody does a horrible thing, you should not be able to murder somebody just because of somebody's wrongdoing. If somebody goes and stabs me, I'm hurt. I have a lot of anger in me for that person, but I can't go get that person because they're already in jail. I'm gonna go kill another person because my anger inside is building up so much that I just need to get it all out and go kill somebody else. I should not be able to do that. Just because if somebody else rapes me, and that would be horrible. That I shouldn't be. If I was a girl, I should have to have the baby. I should not be able to legally have an abortion.
Gotcha.
But if I had the last word, thank you so much. This is a great debate.
Yep. Good talk.
Have a good night.
Well.
Wow.
Damn. I mean, just forcing people. I mean, I think he would be a bit different. He would approach things a bit different if he actually wasn't the man.
I think so
Just
too.
saying.
I do. I believe that as well.